Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm just gonna talk about why I chose Islam as a religion, why I think Islam is the truth. Disclaimer, I was born a Muslim, raised a Muslim, but I believe there comes a time where everyone has to actually choose Islam or any religion. To be honest, it don't really matter what religion you're born into. You have to come to terms with that religion if you feel like it's the truth. And I came to believe that Islam is the truth for many different reasons. In my journey, I was raised, I did grow up practicing when I was young. You know, we went to the schools, the madrasas, we learned, we studied the book. Then, after we came down to the States, after we moved down here from Africa, there was a period of time that I kind of lost my way, especially my growing up phase in my teenage years, from the period like around 9 years old to 14, 15. I was really distracted and I was really focused on this world and on the life, like any other young teenage kid. But then I was drawn back to this religion. I started listening to a lot of different lectures. One of the biggest persons that had a big impact on me was one of my big brothers. But watching those lectures, Islamic lectures, just I got drawn into them. They were very enticing, very amazing, just learning new things and hearing new things. It wasn't until I started really learning about the life of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. To me, his life, his journey is what really made me understand Islam and understand what Islam really meant and how Islam started and how it was spread. And we can't really judge Islam based on the action of the people, but rather the content that it gives out. But the only person we can judge Islam based on is the Prophet himself and how he embodied Islam, because he is the perfect example of the religion. So, and that goes for every religion. I think you should look at that main person, the focal point of that religion. Whether it's Christianity, you have to look at Jesus, the way he lived. Obviously, he's the focal point of the religion. And not Paul, by the way, not Paul. And so yeah, his life really fascinated me and I fell in love with it. And another thing was learning the Quran, learning how to read and studying the book. When you merge those two things, you really come to, you really come to just understand the religion fully. And this book, I really did it. You can't really appreciate it until you learn Arabic. I'll come and talk about my journey in Arabic, but you can't really appreciate this book until you come learn the Arabic language. The Arabic language is a very rich, complex, a rich and It's very complex. It's very history rooted. It's a Semitic language. It goes back, it's a very old language. And once you know Arabic and you learn the Quran and you read it, you enjoy the beauty, you come to understand that there's no way that this book comes other than God himself. And in my phase right now, currently, I've been looking at other religions, not as to learn other religions, because I've been content and assured. But I've been studying other religion, mainly Christianity and Judaism, to know what do they provide and what would make someone believe in that religion. And to me, there's just a lot of flaws in them. And when you really look at it, the only religion that just makes sense and it applies in every time, in every age throughout history. The rules in that book, in the Quran or in the Hadith, they still apply till now and they make sense. And the challenges that the Quran gives off, right? Like produce a book like it. That's a very manly challenge to give out. Because if this book was just man-made, for someone to make that kind of challenge in there, to say produce a book like it, then if somebody had just produced a book like it, then it's all over and done for. But the Quran challenges people multiple times in the Quran, in it, for people to produce a book like it. And no one can produce a book like it. And the predictions that it makes and what it teaches, the values it teaches. And also another thing is the feeling you get when you're actually practicing it. When you're fasting, like right now, we're in this blessed month of Ramadan. When you're praying, you feel a sense of happiness. When you're in Mecca or Medina, you're in these holy places. There's just a feeling, you can't explain it. You just have to go through it. The spiritual contentment you actually feed in your soul is none to other. When you're praying at night, all these things just made me appreciate Islam and made me really truly understand that Islam is the true religion, right? And like I say, the man himself, Prophet Muhammad, how he lived his life. He didn't live his life for greed. He didn't want anything to do with his life. Very humble person. If he had other ulterior motives, we would have seen it, right? You don't see him, like the way he carried himself is unhumanly, right? And anyone that wants worldly things, you'll definitely see it from them. All of us are shortcoming, but we couldn't see any from him in his life. So these are the few reasons why I became Muslims. I renewed my faith, if you want to say it. And everyone should become Muslim and not just be born into it. They should become Muslim and they should be fully in it with their own willing to at some point in the stage. You know, the timing, they differ. So yeah, we'll discuss more about my other journeys, but till next time, guys. Assalamualaikum.